Thank you to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video. Alright, so what is the goddamn deal, YouTube? It is, of course, your boy Volandis back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about something that I haven't done before, or just haven't done often. I might have pushed film like twice before, so I'm not sure if it's actually my first time, but I can't recall. But in today's video, we're just going to be doing some pushing of film, which is something that I definitely don't do often, but definitely a little bit more interested in. That bird just scared the hell out of me. But yeah, I'm just excited to push some film through the Leica M6. It should be dope. I also did a video shooting the Leica M6 at night that you guys will see on the channel if either this video comes out before or after. If it came out already, then you've already seen it. But I'm also going to be shooting it. I also shot with the Leica M6 at night, which was a pain in the ass. It was a bitch. It was not easy. If you've ever shot with a rangefinder at night, it's different. Definitely coming from like just a regular focusing system, but you know, we did what we had to do, and I also pushed some film in that video too. So it'd actually be interesting to push some film more in like a daytime setting outside of like a nighttime. So I'm actually kind of worked out that we're doing this kind of during the day. So yeah, let's just load this up and get to it. All right, let's go further out. Right there. Stay like stay walking that way and then like look back. Right there. Yeah. All right, 1, 2. Stay like that. Turn to like your side and then look over. Yeah. All right, 1, 2. One, two. Turn around again. Actually, I'm gonna have you go out there one more time. Okay. We get like a wide one. Right there. All right. Here, start here, and then I'm gonna walk behind you, and then like at some point just like turn around, then turn back around. Something like look at the camera, then turn back around. All right, 1 second. All right, go ahead. All right, cool. All right, 1, 2. Now you like stand kind of straight. Let me put this around my neck before I fucking drop it in the water. You said what? That would suck. That would be stupid. I'd be so mad. All right, 1, 2. 1, 2. One more. Might be a lot of focus. 1, 2. All right. Another one. before we go on, let's just give a big thank you to the sponsor of this video, which is Epidemic Sound. All right, so as y'all know, since I've been on YouTube, since I've been making these short films and these film photography videos, Epidemic Sound has been the only place that I've gone to for my music and sound effects, because it is great for online creators who want to soundtrack their videos without the fear of it being taken down or getting copyrighted strikes, because that has happened to me before. Epidemic Sound owns 100% of all of the music that's on their site, so there's never a chance that your videos will receive a claim or a takedown. It also doesn't matter if you're a YouTuber or just creating videos for client work. The personal plan covers all your social platforms, while the commercial plan covers everything you may do for work. The Epidemic Sound library has over 35,000 tracks and 90,000 sound effects, with the new tracks added every single week. So y'all know, with this being a film photography channel, I like some nice chill lo-fi beats. I like some hip hop, some laid back. I even try to throw in some R&B from here and there, you feel me? So even if Epidemic Sound wasn't a sponsor of this channel, I would still be using their music and content today. So you can sign up and use the link in my description to get a free 1-month trial to Epidemic Sound. Any videos you use during your trials will remain safe and protected, even if you cancel your subscription after your trial month is over. So again, thank you to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video. All right, so now we are back at the crib, here to talk a little bit more about pushing, and a little bit about pulling film, even though we didn't do that in this video, but we'll talk about it slightly, but we won't go into deep detail about it like pushing film. So yes. All right, so as y'all seen, that was more film that I had pushed in development. So it was actually very dark outside. I know that you guys can't necessarily see how dark it is on camera because we pushed the ISO and, you know, all the other things we need to do to make sure it looks good, but it was actually very dark. And in these situations, in these conditions, I usually would just wait till the next day to shoot, because I'm usually a very patient person when it comes to taking photos and, you know, getting the photos that I want. But for the sake of this video, I just went out and shot regardless of the lighting conditions, because I knew I was going to push this film anyway. So I knew it was going to be fine. And to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of pushed film or pulled film, to be honest. So there are some obvious advantages to pushing your film. So if you're shooting with an SLR, you want to keep your shutter speed above or at a 60th of a second, because anything below that, you're going to introduce some camera shake and some blurriness to the photos. So definitely don't want that. And with the rangefinder 30th, you want to keep it at 30th or above that, because it does the same thing. For anything lower than those shutter speeds, you should definitely be using a tripod, because you don't want to introduce, or you don't, unless that's what you're going for, then by all means do what you got to do. But if you're looking to get a sharp image and things, you know, not shaking about in the photo, then usually you want to have a tripod with lower shutter speeds, unless you can raise your ISO. So for example, if I'm shooting Portra 400 but I wanted to push it one stop to 800, which is what I did in this video, I would rate the film in camera to 800, and then also when it's getting developed, tell the lab to push it one stop to 800 as well. That way everything comes out the way I intended it to come out. I feel like when you underexpose your image, like shoot it at Portra 400, because sometimes a lot of people push film because they underexposed on accident and they realized it when it was too late. So now they have to get that exposure back somehow, and the only way you can do that is by pushing the film at this point. So but I found out when you do that, it kind of like the colors are kind of, you know, in my opinion, not the greatest. I feel like there's a lot of greenish, especially with portraits. I feel like there's a lot of greenish colors in the shadows, and just like kind of unrealistic colors. If you're going for that, then cool, because some people go for that on purpose, which is fine. But for me, I feel like if I'm not going for that, then like I don't want that. So the photos that I shot with Jade, I definitely shot those photos underexposed, and then I had to push it in post-processing to you know, get the exposure back, and the colors just look kind of not to my liking, but they're not bad, but they're just like not to my liking, which is fine. But let me show you these two side-by-side images, one of which I underexposed and then had to push, and then the other is when I shot at my desired ISO and then still pushed it. So the image that was underexposed and was pushed, you can tell that it has a bunch of contrast. The colors are different. It's a little bit more grainy. Whereas the film that was in camera that was rated at 800 and then pushed to 800, you can see that that looks normal and it looks good, and it doesn't really throw you off too much. You wouldn't really even be able to tell that that image was a pushed image if you weren't told that it was pushed, whereas the one on the right is definitely an image that was pushed. although I didn't pull any of my film in this situation, also like on the opposite side of that, clearly, if you just take the opposites from why pushing film is an advantage, you can, you know, take the opposite of that and see why pulling film is an advantage. If it's too bright and sunny outside and, you know, there's high contrast lighting situations, pulling your film can work out. Pulling your film can give you a little bit of leeway into working with that light, and also it gives you just like kind of muted colors. You get more detail in the shadows and things of that nature. So some people do like pulling their film. I was going to pull my film. I would probably pull black and white film in high, like kind of light contrast situations, but that's just me. And for me, I usually, if it's too bright outside, then I shoot with a lower ISO film. If it's too dark outside or inside, I shoot with a higher ISO film. I know this isn't always the case, and it isn't always available to everybody, but I usually just try to shoot everything the way it's intended to be shot. So if something's too dark, then and I have to put my camera on a tripod, then I will do that. If something's too bright and I have to shoot with the dreaded Portra 160, then I'll do that. Or Ektar 100 is a great film. 100 speed films are great, so if I have to do that, then I'll do that in high, you know, high situations. But to me, Portra 400 is usually a good middle ground of film, whether it's too dark or too bright. So I don't necessarily usually run into the problem where I need to push or pull my film too often. So that's why I don't, but I definitely don't have a problem with it depending on how I'm doing it. If it's too dark and I have to push, like if it's too dark and I have to push 400 speed film to 1600, I'm just not gonna do that, because I personally know I'm not gonna like the way that turns out. So I'm not gonna do that. Not even gonna put myself through that. So that's going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys got something out of it. It was fun for me to do this video because this is something that I don't necessarily do often. So I'm glad you guys got to come along for this journey and ride for me. I learned some things, so I hope you guys did too. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed to the channel, I'm not talking to you because you already did what you had to do. So yeah, man, let's get up out of here and let's go do some shit. You know the vibes. Let's get it.